I opened my front door and froze. My hallway, the floor where my babies crawled, was buried in someone else's garbage. Broken glass, rancid food, sharp lids. And then I learned the truth. My neighbor had stuffed it all through my mail slot in broad daylight. Just to make a point, she thought I'd take it quietly. She had no idea what I was capable of. If you've ever had a neighbor cross the line, you're going to love this story. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and drop a comment with the worst neighbor you've ever dealt with. Because today, we're diving into a tale where trash turned into the perfect weapon of revenge. It was 2001 when I moved my little family into a quiet neighborhood. I had 2 kids, just 1 and 3 years old, still small enough that they crawled and toddled across the floor every day. For me, that floor mattered. I'd chosen white flooring deliberately because you can't hide dirt on white. It forced me to keep it spotless. With kids that small, I mopped daily. Cleanliness wasn't just preference, it was protection. We also had 3 cats, and for the first time, I was excited they could roam freely in a safe area. The whole point of moving here was so my children could grow up with neighborhood kids, and my animals could enjoy the space. It felt like a dream start. That first week, everything seemed fine. And then came garbage day. Our neighborhood had a system. You bag your trash neatly, put it in your own container, and wheel it out by the curb by morning. That's exactly what I did. Bags tied, container sealed. Rolled to the roadside at 7 wire sharp. Then I went about my day, cleaned the house, mopped the shining white floors, went shopping. When I came home, my hands full of grocery bags, I opened the front door and nearly dropped everything. My entire hallway, my clean, bright hallway, was covered in trash. Not my trash. Unknown trash. Broken glass glittered across the tiles like landmines. Sharp metal lids stuck out at angles. Food scraps rotted. Cartons slumped. Bits of plastic and filth everywhere. My stomach lurched at the stench. I thought instantly of my children, my crawling babies, who could have been cut, poisoned, or worse. My cats too. I stood there, frozen, my skin prickling, my heart hammering, and then I noticed something else. Neighbors, behind curtains, on porches, watching, some with smirks, some pretending not to look. They knew. It didn't take long before whispers confirmed who had done it. A woman down the street, my neighbor, and apparently she hadn't done it quietly. She'd made a show of it, stuffing bag after bag of trash through my mail slot in broad daylight, as if she were delivering justice. Why? Because she'd seen loose garbage near the street that morning, and since I was the new one, she decided it must be mine, without asking, without even considering. Just marched up and turned my hallway into a dump. Something snapped inside me. It was like a bomb went off in my chest, blowing away every ounce of politeness and self-control. My ears rang, my vision narrowed. I swear I felt steam rising off my skin. My hands trembled as I cleaned the disaster, shoving glass and filth into bags. My kids, I locked safely in the living room. My cats hissed and circled, sensing my fury. And then, inspiration struck. I went to the cat litter box. Normally, I'd dump the whole thing on garbage day, but this time, I was surgical. I scooped out only the waste, the clumps of urine, the pieces of feces. I packed them carefully into 2 flimsy plastic bags, the thin kind that split if you looked at them wrong. Each bag sagged, heavy with filth. I held one in each hand. My pulse slowed. My rage sharpened. It was time for a visit. I marched down the street, every step fueled by the humiliation she'd tried to brand me with. When I reached her door, I rang the bell, hiding the bags behind my back. The door opened. She appeared, smugness radiating off her face. She opened the door wide, practically inviting me to see inside. And what I saw made my plan even sweeter. Her hallway was immaculate. To the right, a carpeted staircase that looked freshly vacuumed. To the left, an open door leading to a spotless living room. Straight back, the gleam of a perfectly polished hallway stretching toward a bathroom. The kind of place that looked staged for a magazine spread. I locked eyes with her and asked, as calmly as I could manage, "Did you put that trash through my mail slot?" Her grin widened. "Yes, because since you're new here, the loose garbage around the containers must have been yours. That never happened before you came." Her words hit me like gasoline on a fire. Every vessel in my eyes throbbed. My jaw clenched so tight, I thought my teeth might crack. The calm I had forced onto my face shattered in an instant. I exploded. "You ignorant, self-righteous." I launched into a tirade, words spilling out like lava. I told her exactly how reckless, disgusting, and dangerous her little stunt had been. That she could have injured my children, poisoned my animals. That instead of simply talking to me, she had publicly humiliated me and turned my home into a biohazard. And then, when my voice dropped to a deadly calm, I gave her one last line. "Since you like cleaning so much, here, clean this." I flung the first bag. It burst against the corner of her pristine staircase, splattering across the carpet. Urine clumps oozed. "Shit smeared," she gasped. Too stunned to react, the second bag followed. It hit the doorframe of her living room, exploding with a wet slap. Feces and soaked litter sprayed across the doorway, dripping down her spotless woodwork. Her expression was unforgettable. Shock, fear, indignation, nausea, and beneath it all, despair. I leaned in, my voice low and shaking with fury. "If you ever pull something like that again, I'll smash every window in your house." Then I turned, head high, and walked back home. The neighborhood had seen it all. Curtains twitched. Mouths hung open. People whispered. But from that day on, no one dared throw another scrap of garbage my way. And that neighbor, silent. She never looked at me the same. Never spoke a word. Never tried another stunt. But I'll never forget the satisfaction of that moment. The perfect reversal. She wanted to humiliate me with trash. I handed her something worse. And the face she made when the bags exploded. I can still enjoy it to this day. That image. Her immaculate hallway smeared with filth. Her smug smile melting into horror. Was worth every second of the cleanup I'd endured. Justice wasn't just poetic. It was messy, pungent, and unforgettable. She wanted to play the role of the neighborhood's self-appointed enforcer. But in the end, all she enforced was her own humiliation. Here's the thing about people like her. They assume newcomers are weak, easy targets. They mistake kindness for cowardice. But sometimes, the quiet ones strike back the hardest. And when they do, it's not just revenge, it's a warning. So let me ask you, if someone stuffed trash through your door, what would you have done? Share it in the comments. I can't wait to read your ideas. And if you loved this tale of garbage turned justice, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's dealt with a nightmare neighbor. Because sometimes, the best revenge is messy.